Hello and welcome to the Critically Curious. Today we are in Empire of Sin and we are doing a gangster guide. Yeah, that's right, we are opening up the Black Book, looking through all the gangsters in the game, and I'm picking out kind of my favourites, the ones that I normally go to. We can't do every single one. I'm excluding Cyril from this little lineup. It means we have 55 gangsters that we could possibly choose from. Now, obviously, I'm not going to talk about every single gangster and every single stat in the game, but I'm going to go through my go-to choices, and the first one for me is Grover Monks. Out of the 4 starter characters, gangsters, you know, the very first 4 that you can pick up, Grover for me is without a doubt the best one of the choice. He seems to have very few downsides to him. He has fallen on all times, which gives him a bonus to initiate and a defense bonus as well. He has a gang leader, which again is a leadership bonus, marksman bonus. Then he has child labor. He gives a boost to casinos. He has no man is an island, plus 10 on marksman when he's within 10 meters of 2 other people. He already has a 1 marksman, which is kind of huge there. Anyway, so he also has thick skin, so that's 20% less chance of getting injured and a 15% chance to resist critical hits. He has calm as well for a 25% chance to bleed out instead of dying. And of course he has reckless for 10 initiative and 5 minus on the defense. He also has cunning, chance to crit increase by 5% when this person is flanking their target. This guy is pretty much a glass cannon. Give him a rifle and watch him drop bodies. So first of all, I would do mark target, followed by strike and move, then run and gun, return fire, and of course he has run and gun him down. I quite like Maria, but there's a reason why we didn't actually pick Maria in this one, and we'll get back to that in just a second. Next up, we have Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman. I mean, Nora Quinn, my bad. She only costs 3,000 up front. She has 90 health, which is pretty standard for doctors, but for us, that's pretty good. With the 25 extra defense bonus, she has Immigrant and Religious for 10 persuasion, 10 leadership, and 10 moral gain. She has Stayed in School, which means she can learn doctor traits faster. She's got better marksman as well, and she also ups casino. So she's an all-round absolute amazing character early on. We've got a penny saved is a penny earned. So you also got the racket upkeep when a character is actually inside the racket, minus 15%. That's kind of useless for us unless you plan on leaving her in a racket. We've also got Disfigured and Afraid. We don't really need to look at them too much. They're negative traits, but all in all, considering she's the first doctor we have access to, she works absolutely great for our needs. Plus, if you look at her relationships that she has, for me, unfortunately, it only messes up one thing, but I will be trading her out later. She's kind of the start, you know what I mean? The one you pick up at the beginning. She may die, she may not die. Obviously, when you're actually building her or setting up her perks, I would honestly go for everything that has to do with medicine. Like I said, she actually learns this stuff a lot faster than she would the other stuff anyway. It just makes more sense. The more healing items you have in this game, the better. You are going to get injured, and being able to heal yourself and the other gangsters that you're hiring is a really good idea. So far we have 1 hired gun and we have a doctor. Next up, we are on to an enforcer. Now, for me, this was a little bit difficult. I had a choice between 2. It was either CLYDE or it was Crispo. Now, I like them both, and I was looking at their stats quite a lot. And for me, CLYDE just pulls it. You know, I think their relationships with each other aren't really too bad. But as you can see, if we would have chosen Maria at the beginning, which, you know, I quite like choosing because she has that trigger happy perk. Trigger happy is an amazing perk. But if we had chosen her, it meant that we wouldn't be able to have CLYDE. And, you know, I think really it's the price. CLYDE only costs 3 grand, considering Crispo costs 15,800. That's just a huge amount. They've got the same health. So CLYDE has 126 health, which I think is an absolute beast for early game. Absolute beast for early game. So his first perk is second generation. So he gets 10% on moral and loyalty. He then gets delinquent, which gives him 10 on persuasion and intimidation. He also gets a buff to breweries as well. He has religious for the persuasion, leadership, and the moral. No man is an island. We've already had that before. He gets 10% on marksman. And considering how small our gang is right now, that's going to work really well. He doesn't exactly need the extra marksman, by the way. He also has giant for the extra 10% on melee and -5 on the defense, but he already has good defense. He has aggression, gain 2 morale when involved in combat, but loses 2 after going 1 week without a fight. That sounds quite funny. For perk-wise, the only thing for me which is absolutely necessary is rifle training. I think if you put rifle on this guy, he is very good up until, you know, late game. This guy can absolutely tear it up. It's really its health that saves it for me, that extra health. I mean, if you think about the health difference between him and Groves, it's massive. You know, he's basically 2 other people. So that's a huge health bonus with this guy. I also think it's interesting how he has 20 defense bonus, whereas Crispo, who costs 10 grand more than him, has 0. Now, the last guy I want to talk about on line number 2 is Boris. Now, Boris has a bit of an issue with the cleaner. Now, I think the cleaner has a much cooler name. If you pick up Boris, you're not going to have the cleaner unless you chuck him end game. But personally, I would pick him up. Boris is a con artist, the first con artist we're actually picking up. He has 90 HP, and honestly, I think he's pretty good. He actually has 10 HP more than Malena, who's on the same line as him and is also a con artist. And overall, honestly, if you compare their perks together, I feel that Boris has the better perks. Now, remember, if you, for instance, give them, you know, I don't know, say the sniper rifle, they can earn points on that sniper rifle or perks off that sniper rifle, just like, you know, your boss can. One of the good things about having a con artist is the last perk you can actually unlock. On tier 5, you unlock kill chain. Now, of course, it isn't going to be as powerful as you can have on your boss, as you can, you know, chain that with rifles, which is just ridiculously OP. But if you chain that with, I don't know, you could use a submachine gun, or you could use a sniper rifle. You know, you're going to get some kills. You're going to have an extra attribute point to use your secondary weapon. You could even use your throwing knife and throwing axe as well, which I also love to use. Now, on line number 3, there is unfortunately only one person I want to talk about and who I would consider hiring if I absolutely can hire any of them there. It is Jack. Jack, for me, is head and shoulders above everyone else. I was looking at Dominic, but he wants to be the underboss, and I just don't think that's going to work for me. So Jack's my choice with 127 health. He's another enforcer, but he also has 80 marksman, which is pretty good. He has immigrant, strictly schooled as well for the 10% reduction in time taken to learn enforcer professional traits. He has boxer, which gives us a nice little bonus to speakeasies as well. We have fortune favors the bold for gain 20% morale when taking over a racket. We're going to be doing a lot of that. We have thick skin for the minus 20% chance to get injured and the increased 15% chance to resist crits. We also have the much desired hair trigger for a 100% chance to activate when this person or an ally drops below 25% health. There is a chance that they will lash out and attack a random target. Now, what I found in the game at the moment, they will attack every single person within range. I don't know if this is a bug. I don't know if it's going to change. But that hair trigger is absolutely OP. I definitely like having it. And yeah, so that's basically probably the main reason why I would pick him. That and the health, it's pretty bloody good. I would definitely train him in rifles. Again, you know me, I absolutely love my rifles within this game. I think they are overpowered. And that's why I will run a rifle on any character I can actually fit a rifle in. Line number 4 is an interesting one. Right at the beginning of line number 4, we have 3 hired guns. Now, this is really getting into the meat and potatoes of the game. This is getting into your late game now. You know, you're really starting to probably take over the board, taking out a few bosses, and we need some heavy hitters. Now, out of these 3 hired guns, bear in mind they all pretty much cost exactly the same. I would choose Eddie. Now, this is mainly because Eddie and ZZ both have more health than Frank, but ZZ has a perk called Afraid, which I really just don't want in my crew, and that's why Eddie, you know, kind of goes over the line for me. Even though he gets 1% extra on the old profit margin, which I'm not really a fan of, but it is what it is. So he has some pretty basic perks here, including Strictly Scored, which gives us a faster time learning hired gun. He has No Man is an Island for the extra 10 on marksman within 10 meters of 2 people that he is friends with. He has Brawny for the extra damage, 20 when he's drunk, so it may be interesting to get him drunk. He has 10 on melee, and then he has his 2 negative traits. But I think that the buy-off really is better with Eddie over the other 2 out of those first 3 hired guns. I think he's the better option. I really do. Now, he can already use rifles. I would pick Mark Target, as I'm definitely not going to have him use a machine gun. And if I'm not going to have him use a machine gun, it means I'm going to use Strike and Move, followed by Run and Gun, probably Return Fire, and then, of course, Tier 5, he has Gun 'em Down. Now, this setup, if you actually complete it and you have all those perks, this guy is a beast. Now, I understand he has 81 health, which isn't exactly a lot by any means. What it means is he is probably your new glass cannon. Put a decent vest on him, because late game he could struggle, but those perks and this build is going to be amazing. Next up is a demolitionist finally on the squad. And it really was between Dale or Alfred. Now, I was looking at both of them, and I liked the look of both of them. The thing is, though, Alfred has a pretty bad perk. One that I don't particularly want in the group, because it's going to create arguments, and that is Flirt. This person wants everyone to want them, and usually everyone does. It means it's going to create friction within your group if you hire him. Now, I've got to admit, he's probably one of the better dressed characters in the game. Kind of goes with the ensemble of the gangster and mafia theme, but I think Dale is the better choice. Now, the reason being is that he has almost 20 better marksmanship than Alfred, and he has a defense bonus, whereas Alfred has a -5 defense bonus, which I just don't know what that's about at all. He has relatively okay stats, I guess. Delinquent helps out with the brewery. Trust no one is okay. He has Angry, which is actually pretty good, because what it does, it comes with the 25% chance for the trigger happy. He has Brawny for the 10% extra damage. He has Hair Trigger. Now, Alfred does not have Hair Trigger. That is another reason why Dale is so much better than him. They cost pretty much exactly the same money. They have the same health. They have the same profession. But when it comes to perks, sometimes these perks are much, much better. Now, Dale's trigger happy perk, it's not actually, Hair Trigger perk, it's not actually as good. as a couple of the other characters, but he has a chance to trigger, and therefore that is why I think you should pick him too. When it comes to the perks, I would go for Shrapnel Bomb. I would obviously go for Rifle Training. I would go for Double Tap. On tier 4, it's really up to you, dealer's choice. I wouldn't go for shotguns. And then, of course, you have got the old Cluster Grenade, which is also pretty good as well, if you manage to get it, you know, unlocked and leveled up. We are talking late game. You know, you may not get to get these characters all the way up and have all of their perks. But finally, guys, we are on to the top level, and there are a few people to talk about. You know, they're all pretty good. They all have things that is worth mentioning. Diana, for instance, she has this pretty snazzy dart gun. Would you buy it just for the dart gun? Maybe not, but I kind of want to have a go. She's also a doctor. You know, considering our last hire, I think that maybe, you know, upgrading your doctor at this point could be a pretty good idea. We also have Cristiano, who has a pretty good unique shotgun as well, and he comes to boot with some body armor, and we all know how much I like my body armor. But the first one we are going to look at on the top line is one that I don't normally pick, to be honest with you, but it's going to be Williams. Now, Williams has 175 health. She also has a 99 marksman. Looking at her perks real quick, there's nothing really amazing there. I think Calm's pretty good. She has a 25% chance to bleed out instead of dying. And if you look over to her build, obviously, she is an enforcer, but you can train rifles into her. I would do that as soon as possible. And of course, it's dealer's choice after that, what you pick throughout that actual perk stream. But I do think she's a very, very good buy. But if you're going to get her, I would also seriously think about getting the best doctor in the house. Now, of course, these guys cost like $63,000. You know, we are talking a big sum of money, but she is without a doubt the best doctor in the game at 120 health. That's an extra 20 health. That's an extra hit, you know. I quite like those odds. Her perks aren't necessarily anything to shout home about, but I mean, at this stage, I kind of want to mix things up a little bit, and I would probably choose a new doctor. But after that, guys, it's kind of all up to you. I mean, you could go for the cleaner, or you could go for art. If you've gone for Boris, then you can't really go for the cleaner. I also think another good one to look at would be Dottie Bacon. She has 150 HP off the bat as well, which is, you know, an amazing amount of health to start any battle with. She even comes with a unique pistol. But I know everyone, they love the cleaner or R. Now, they both cost a lot of money. Neither of them have particularly, you know, amazing health. Unfortunately, the cleaner for me, especially if you have Boris, you can't have him anyway. But he comes with cruel trait or perk, and I don't actually really want that. R, on the other hand, doesn't have that, and also still has hair trigger. And again, like I said, hair trigger is actually quite overpowered within this game. And not to mention, R also comes with their very own set of body armor. Now, I didn't really go into too crazy detail on the top row. I mean, at the end of the day, they are all absolutely brilliant first candidates for, you know, for any gangster squad that you're putting together. For me, I think Williams kind of edges it. I think her 175 health is just insane. But we have done it. We have managed to go from bottom to top. We've talked about every gangster that I personally like. And hopefully I've gone over a few that you guys are interested in. You know, if you have different opinions to me, if you have a gangster maybe I didn't mention that you just absolutely love and have to have every playthrough, let me know down in the comments, because, you know, I'd love to hear back your thoughts and your ideas about this game as well. But guys, I'm going to end it here because this video has been entirely too long, you know, carrying on for 20 minutes now. But I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it's helped. If you've enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And guys, as always, I will see you in the next video real soon. Catch you later.